Good morning, the yard. It's been a minute since I've done a video, and I haven't seen Lethal or anybody. I know we all had things going on, and plus it's been a pretty boring fucking off season. Hey, as you can tell, shorter beard, shorter hair, and most of you on Facebook know I'm getting married. I got married actually. I'm going to married. So hey, you guys want to go? DM me on Facebook. Anyway, y'all, I'll send you an invitation. Yeah, so I'm surviving the illnesses. Let's get out of the way. See, shingles didn't kill me, none of that shit. So I like most people. Yeah, and on a personal note, I have no problem saying I did like I call it cleanse at Lethal. You'll be proud of it, and I'm gonna give Mighty God some props, even though it's been personal. It kind of cleaned up my act a little bit, just as far as like chilling on what my body was put into it. Really was talking, pain pills and different stuff, So I'm pretty clean actually. Haven't had anything actually in like 40 days, but I'm gonna drink a couple here and there, but I feel good. But all that aside, I think it kind of leans to the reason why I'm telling you this, not just to get, hey, good job, Mike, or whatever, but really it kind of leads to the Falcons. One thing I'm excited about this year, if we're gonna start talking topics, is I think the team, the approach of TF, who I did criticize, and I still but did criticize. Let me upfront that, but I'm kind of going to retract and be a man and own up. Is when you're ill, which I've been through, you got multiple things going on. It's really important to build your body back, which to get your health right. Same for team organizations. You sometimes have to cleanse, wait, give a period of your body to recover, and then, yeah, will you tipple? Maybe you don't if you're a drinker. Or will you make a mistake, back to slipping like the Falcons could, right? But I think TF, and knowing the Ryan thing was kind of out of his control because of, blank, I think we've cleansed, we've purged, if you would. We're in that state of becoming healthy. The organization's making smart moves. I'm making smart moves, just like a human, like we all do, right? We all go through this. That's positive. Whereas I think TD, who I won't bust on as much as Minnie did, you know that. I think he just couldn't, and it may have been blank for all we know too. Let's keep this in mind. We don't know this. Kept putting Band-Aids on. Well, the bleeding's done, right? You rip that fucker off, right? So what I'm excited about this team is your core is young. Take this draft. I'm gonna just take topics. I'll keep it because I want to keep you guys. I want to get your thoughts on this, whether it's written or not, right? We've ripped the Band-Aid. We built up the core. It's gotten massively younger. Did a great job of signing Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews, we know at the very least can move in the left guard. You got a long-term fixture. Good job, guys. They're looking at Chris now. My brain COVID fog, right? Yeah. Our guard, right? Lindstrom, right? So you're looking at re-signing him. Still worried about center, but they're young. They've got some competition. They didn't rush out to sign Caleb either, which I like. Make them prove it. And I think Justin Schaefer is a good young fixture. Running back. Yeah, we didn't go and get a premier guy, but you guys also know you see running backs come up all the fucking time. The reality is you don't have to draft a premier back all the time, and it does work. I'm very excited with Tyler Algier, quite frankly. Young again. Even the keeping of Ollie makes sense. I'm not sure Damian, what's his name, Harris, right? We'll see. Not Damian Harris. We got the Williams, right? The Damian we got, we'll see. Will you be around? I will say I called it. I think Avery is going to be a very Sproles type player. I think I said that way earlier. I don't know why they have a cornerback. He's not a cornerback. He's an offensive weapon. He'll be great for that. In my opinion, he's a Kevin Falk type back, which is, you need that guy. So running back is hopeful. If Ollie can come around, we got a coup. Algier, I'm predicting him he's going to do well. I'm very pleased by the wide receivers. You got a 1A, 1B. That's not a bad approach to team building. And, I know one thing I'm going to put out there, right? And you guys are not like this, but the board, Pitts is not a tight end. Pitts is a weapon. He's probably more receiver than tight end, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a Megatron type player. So I'm good on wide receiver. I like some of the pickups. I'm a little surprised by Darby, like Lethal, like what the hell, is he just a waste? But that's okay. I like that Burke, can't pronounce his name, the lacrosse player. That kid looks like a little gamer. Lacrosse players have had a history with Chris Hogan, and even, I think Edelman played a little lacrosse. Got that scrappy little white dude play lacrosse, don't give a shit attitude. That works. Very, very, very excited about Ritter. I still don't like Mariota. Uh, Look, if I'm wrong, obviously I don't want Mariota to not do well, right? Or Mariota, whatever. I didn't like Mariota when he was at Oregon. I thought he was a gimmick player, a product of a system. Um, but I don't fault AS. Let me tell you this out. I do fault AS to keep trying. Okay, no, I can't fault him. I know why he does it. Familiarity. Mariota has shown some maturity, shown the ability to be a good backup, a mentor. But I really kind of hope that AS isn't thinking that this is a reclamation. Although he did that with Tannehill. And you know what? If I end up eating my words, so be it. But really, even when AS was there, he's been there in Tennessee for a while. Mariota was never that good. I think I want to say, Jake, I think, Jake, you touched on that. I am very, very, very excited about Ritter. Back to that young core. Ritter, I'm gonna throw some out. I don't give a fuck about what they call stats a lot of times. Like, stats are misleading. The reason I like Ryan over the years was not so much his stats, which were very bloated at times, depending on who was the coordinator, right? That's not the tell-all. The tell-all was Ryan was a tough, gritty guy. He hung in. He just happened to get old on a rebuilding team, and it made sense. Sure, they should have got something more for him, but they waited too long. That's okay, right? Ritter has something that I saw, I'm going to throw out. I called Ritter, was the right guy. Look, Malik Willis is exciting, but I see more Mariota, but a better Mariota, maybe a lesser Vic. I see a lot of that. Got a laser arm. What I see on Ritter is that same intangible of just a fantastic fucking leader. He got hit in the mouth. You look at his percentages, and everybody, I had a bad game. He did not have a bad game. It was a lot of drops. It was a typical preseason, right? He was playing with second, third stringers. Dude, that play at the end, and you look at that drive, and you look at the way he extended. Mariota could extend the drive. That was good, right? Now, remember, we don't have Pitts. We don't have CP. He's playing with scrubs, which, by the way, we found a good scrub. I still like that lacrosse player, Burhart, whatever his name is, right? Dude, that is a magnificent play. That is a gunslinging mentality that we did have in Matt Ryan for many years, by the way, and it was successful. But now we got Matt. But what I like about Ritter is you see a passer. I never saw a passer in Mariota. To me, I think Jake, I think you touched on this problem better. Me and Clarence, we always talk about this. There's a big difference between a passer, a game manager, passer, and having a good big arm and mobility. Mobility, it comes in different forms. Quite frankly, Joe Montana was mobile, right? Mobile with a purpose, right? You can even look in Elway, right? There were players. Now, so we get the Ritter part. Let's get past the mobile. We have an athletic guy. And when I say that, we have a guy who is almost literally a running back. You have that in Mariota. Mariota actually still looks good. He's got the wheels. But what I'm digging about Ritter, and right now, I don't want to get too up. Although I'm going all in on a third and fifth round pick. Go figure, right? And I forgot to say Drake London. Drake London is going to be fine. I like the way he ran. Look, Drake London, let me eat crow going backwards. I was wrong. That dude's a beast of a player. He plays like young Julio. I mean, I just like the kid. So I'm wrong on that one. But back to the quarterbacks. Did you notice something? When you see Ritter, he's looking to pass. He's squaring up. His mechanics are not perfect, but you can tell he played a pro set offense at Cincinnati. You could tell he played for a disciplined program. And that right there is magnificent. Like, Malik had a beautiful run, right? But let's not forget, Malik wasn't playing real ball. You know, and this, I'm going to put the Vic. Let's say Vic is his comp. Let's just use that. Vic, when they figured Vic out, and if you can't be a passer and you can't manage the game, back to game manager, not being a bad thing. Every quarterback that's great is a game manager someplace. You will not be great. I see some in Ritter. He's okay. He's a game manager. We got that. I'm good with that. Check. The kid's smart, mature. Check, right? Wheels. Good God, he's fast. He's faster than I thought he was, by the way, Clarence. Remember you were talking about it? I didn't realize how fast. Athleticism, check. But watch him pass. There were a lot of drops, but did he make some mistakes? Yeah, he's a fucking rookie. I mean, come on. You're going to make mistakes. I would take, right now, my pronouncement, he's going to be better than Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin fucking Fields, and every other scrub they talk about. He simply got, in my opinion, hurt by back to what Lethal talked about earlier. Cornerbacks are always premium. Wide receivers are the new it thing, right? They are. But I agree with you, Lethal. I think they'll become the next running back at some point. And of course, defensive guys. And O-line. I mean, it was a good O-line year, too. Let's not forget, that was a good year for some of the positions. I think Ritter is a first-round talent. Had he went out last year, I think we could have seen a different ballgame. I think he might have went higher. I'm glad he didn't go out last year. That's another thing. He stayed in college. He did well. I mean, watch the Georgia game the year before last. I think it was the year before last, right? 2 years ago, right? Watch how Ritter hung in there. Watch how he played. A smart football player. Mariota, you look back at him, it's very instinctual. Chip Kelly, get thing. I see the game manager. Now, we have to slow it down, of course, but I'm going to tell you something, man. This is my opinion, and I want you to beat this up. That last play, he said, forget the second string, third string, whatever. That takes moxie. That takes awareness of the field. It takes balls, right? He ran out. He could have just went. I mean, that was a beautiful play. That was a la what we loved about Matt Ryan early, except now we got a guy that's, I mean, he really is. He's a lot. I mean, Matt and Ritter are like worlds apart, obviously speed-wise. But do you notice, if you just take out the running part of Ritter, you see kind of that young Matt Ryan. You do. At the very least, I think we got a good Tannehill. I'm honestly predicting that Ritter will be starting sooner than later. That's my opinion. Back to your core. Defense, man, and I don't want to go too long. I'm going to try to cut this in less than 20 minutes because you guys, that's long. Then we can talk. I can talk Falcons all day. And I'm excited again. Welcome back to football, by the way. The thing with the defense I was excited about, did y'all watch Malone and AK-47? Man, that's some vanilla-ass blitzes. Them boys are moving. And Malone is stronger than I thought he was. I was really shocked how that 240-pound, because you read the thing. First of all, I often forget, like some of y'all do, 6'3", 6'4", 240. That's a big motherfucker. He kicked my ass. I'm by comparison, I'm just under 6 feet, and I'm about 185. I would get my ass kicked. This has got 60 pounds more, but, in football time, guys got to be 260, 270. Did y'all watch Malone? Let's take him, because he's a, third-round draft pick? Dude does not, he is not a Vic Beasley at all. AK, bro, how the fuck he got out, did not make the first round is just stupid to me. I don't understand that. AK is got power, speed. Yeah, he's really not that undersized. I think he's around 260, right? Dude, AK's a beast, but Malone, man, watch that kid. I mean, that's some Baltimore type draft picks. I wasn't, so I'm really excited on the young core. I've seen the comments in other chats, the chat we used to be part of, formerly known as the dungeon that we were all in. I've seen the chats over on the message board. The nose tackle thing, hey, at Clarence back, I think you said it. Yeah, do you want a big old gaping nose tackle? Maybe, maybe not. We don't play a 3-4 only. I mean, I think that's what everybody gets hung up on, these schemes. Look at our roster right now. We also got a guy, Jalen, I can't remember, like Jalen Williams, I think it is, was over in the Saints. Watch him. He's a typical P's, multiple 6'6", 3-something, horn. I mean, you really don't have to have an elite nose tackle, and there's not a lot of them. I don't think that's a hindrance, actually. And so maybe it is. I don't know. Marlon Davison, yeah, does he have talent? We want him to see, but he may just be a bust, too. Maybe he can't stay healthy. I don't know. He even said himself his first year, he lost me in favor. I didn't prepare one. Well, fuck you. So I'm not as worried on the D-line. Now, I'll tell you why, because we haven't seen Troy Anderson play, if I remember correctly. But so we got this big 6'4", 250, 4'4", physical guy who was a quarterback, no less. So he actually has intelligence. You've got, I'm pretty cool with our guy in the middle, our boy from Tennessee, back to Alabama product. This preseason, he's going to be all right. Debo, I don't know what's going to go on. I still think he's going to be traded. Michael Walker still looks fast. And let's not forget, Michael Walker is a combo outside linebacker that played defensive end, too. But our two youngsters, wow, that cornerstone is badass. I mean, I'm really, really impressed. When you really rewatch that game, don't look at the stat line. Watch those guys. They were converting speed to power, burst. coming off the edge. They're showing bend, and they're just scrappy motherfuckers. I mean, the play level, and Grady's not exactly in preseason going all out. So we're talking, look, name the nose tackle next to Aaron Donald for years. Not a lot. You don't have to have a nose tackle necessarily. I know that's prevalent thinking, but this is not the old days where you had to have that big guy in the middle. You don't necessarily. And some of the guys on our roster are still big. We still got a Rush and some other guys. I was a little disappointed with Goldman. I was like, man, that's perfect, And do I want a 330 behemoth? Of course. I think Pease does too. But let's be honest. There's been more bust. There's been plenty of big, giant nose tackles that come after cuts. There's been plenty of giant two-gap nose tackles that were drafted or undrafted even. And there's been a shit ton of them that's first round, second round, whatever, haven't been that great. Goldman kind of ended up being just a run-of-the-mill nose tackle. Will we two-gap? I think we will. But my point is, and it's kind of rambling to bring it together, when you have a stronger secondary, which you can see we do, right? We're all excited. D, Alfred. By the way, Clarence. Good call, my man. Wow, I like Alfred. I would be totally shocked if Alfred is not killing it and gets some playing time. Big, fast, strong, looks good. You got Oliver maybe coming back, another player. Obviously, we got our boy, our Clemson dude. We ain't got to say about that. Richie Grant's looking beastly, finally. That means his brain's getting... So you got the secondary in it, and look at these linebackers now. So now you got pass rush, right? Pass rush even from the middle, from the outside. Now you got guys who can come down, AK-47 and Malone both look equally as well coming off the line or standing up. Dude, you don't necessarily have to have the big nose tackle. Would it be great? Absolutely. Shelton, I don't know. Pick a guy. I'm really not sure. I don't think we're perfect on defense. I don't. I think it may be a good. I think it's going to be a good year. I think we're going to be better in 32nd in pass, or where the hell we were in sacks, or pass rush efficiency. But again, you got a young core. That's a big deal. You re-signed the leaders that matter. Offensively, we'll go as the run game goes, obviously. But I think, even just getting Ritter in, who's necessarily Ritter, or even, let's say Mariota comes back and does a Mariota type year. We'll be competitive. I'll go out on a limb to kind of close this. I could see I don't think we'll regress, personally. 7 wins could be the floor, if you would, 7, 8 wins. I think you have the ceiling with a little bit of luck. And if you can run the ball, because that was a problem last year. And don't forget, we still got CP. CP hasn't even played yet. CP now being rested and played. And I'll say right now, Ollie still has more bursts than Mike Davis did, as does, and by the way, back to Algier, because offense helps defense, right? Algier was picking up bucking blitzes. Badass, by the way. That's a big deal for a rookie. We get a decent running game, kill some clock, keep our defense off the field, let them be where they are. The secondary stays healthy. And then, of course, we got these linebackers, which, look, Debo may be okay if they decide to keep him too, because Debo is fast. You surround him by the bigger outside linebackers, you may be okay. He can roam. At the very least, a very expensive dime and nickel linebacker, right? But the point is, if we can help our defense, I can see the ceiling. I can see the ceiling 10 win or possibly 11 win. You got 2 against your rivals. These kids are not like Matt. They're not of that old TD realm. They don't give a shit. They just look at it as enemies. Carolina is not impressive. I think somebody posted about Corral. I'm not. Fuck Carolina. The Bucks. Yeah, they're the Bucks, but Brady, we'll see. I don't know. At some point, age catches up. Losing Gronk is going to be a big deal to me, too. I guarantee it'll be interesting. Will they bring Gronk back? Because without Gronk, let's be real, on Brady, he's still got it, right? I love the GOAT, but Gronk is that big old safety blanket. He's that big old thing that matters. Will they miss him? We got our own Gronk now called Pitts. You know what I mean? And by the way, on tight end, I really love the last signing we did. I think it was Michael Pruitt. That's an underrated H-back / tight end guy that can block, take the catch on catch. If he sticks, he's good. I like the kid from Georgia. So we get pretty good tight end, too. Hess looked good, by the way. Hess looked real good. So back to all this thing. If we can get the offense going and sustain the drives, and having these mobile quarterbacks, let me reset. Mariota's mobile and athletic, but not a great passer. I still don't like him. But we can get, let's just say Ritter. Or let's say Mariota becomes what we want. I want Ritter to be, or our vision, right? If you can get the athletic, get out of the pocket, pick up some designed runs, keep the defense. You saw the bootlegs, right? But you get the passing. You got to get passing. That's the part that Matt is going to be missed unless Ritter or when it picks up. You got to get passing. But Ritter, again, gave me hope. Mariota, not so much, to be honest with you. And we sustained some drives, stayed competitive. This team could fool. So, again, I'll recap. I'm excited about the team. I think they ripped the Band-Aid off overall. I think they've rebuilt a pretty good core. Next year's money is good. I know it's insane. Anybody on here talking about dead cap, but honestly, dead cap is called sunk cost. That's all the name is. You lost it. What are you going to do? You have to deal with it, right? Getting that 80 million or whatever way now, and I think next year's, if I'm not mistaken, is something like 100 mil plus to be or something like that. I mean, you still got your draft picks. By the way, that's a good job of them too. They're really losing draft picks, which is pretty good, right? I could see this team. Like I said, I'm going to close in, excited about young core, bringing it all together. So it all evolves around who's the quarterback. Can we do, right, to recap, can we get a running game? Which, again, don't forget, having these more athletic quarterbacks, if they can have the threat of the pass, should open the running game. Even Vic, who was not a great passer, big difference in passer and great arm, opened the running game. You won't have to depend on his offensive line as much, which I think actually is better. I think you get that and you keep this opportunistic defense with these youngsters. I think you get surprised. So again, I'll conclude with, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts with on chat or do your own video because I like seeing y'all smiling faces. Hey, look, new hairstyle. See, I'm ponytail no more. So I'm all hipster looking now, I guess again, or non-hipster, right? I guess old guy. I'll go with my predictions. Floor 7, 8 wins. I don't think we'll regress. If we do regress and say 1 win less or 2 wins less, I think you'll see statistically we improved. Check, which is always a good thing. I think we do have a ceiling. I think we could get the ceiling of 10, 11 wins, maybe sneak in. I don't know how we would do in the playoffs. That's hard. I'm not even going to predict that if we got to the playoffs because you just don't know, right? I mean, young players, we've been through this with Matt Ryan even, remember? You get in the playoffs, he was atrocious, and then you got good. But I think next year, with the money to spend, and this young core plays like I think next year, barring AS is being adult, which so far AS and TF are making the right moves. We got a few years of goodness again, and we'll see. So I don't. And in closing, last bit, it's a longer than I want to do video. By the way, I'm sorry guys. I'll try to get better. Is really hope we got Ritter, and really hope Mariota ascends to that next level or rehabilitates the right word, because not having to draft a quarterback next year would work wonders. I mean, bottom line up front, whether you go skill player offense, whether you go line, whether you go defense again, right? So that's a big deal. So overall, I can recognize the team. It looks like a P's team on defense. It's starting like an AS team. Guys, what's your predictions? Hey, nice sort of seeing you, saying hey at least. Thank you all. Miss you all. Can't wait to have arguments and all that shit. And I was fucking right, by the way, y'all are blasting me, other than Lethal and Jake, when I said we need fucking receivers. So I'm calling all you motherfuckers out. They were blasting me. Lethal, my boy, Jason, Jake, us three were right. We need receivers, and we went and got fucking receivers. So Michael, Gucci, whatever the fuck you want to call me, is out. Over, guys.